Okay, in this fourth video of our 6 video set, what we're going to do is create the list view. This is the structure, the widget within the gadget within Android that allows you to take a list of data and bind it for display to the user. So basically, we're going to have something that allows us to kind of lay some things out on the screen. So we're going to have something along the lines of this. We're going to have rows across each one. So we need to define a list view for everything to display in. In addition to this list view that everything displays into, what we're going to do is create a custom adapter with a kind of a view that is used for each one of these particular items. So we're going to create a view that's used in each one of these areas here as well. So one view for this, and then a second view for each of the individual items. That's going to be our task for today, or for this next video. In addition to these two layouts, these two views, we're going to create a custom adapter that kind of tells Android how to map stuff up and how to lay things together along these lines. Okay, so let's jump back over into Android Studio. So kind of the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop out of our main activity. That we'll come back to it in just a few minutes. But what we're going to focus on first is we're going to drop down to Layout, and we're going to open up our music list main activity. Looks like I'd already added that in here. Let's delete that for a second. So basically this is the view that you're going to have. So what you're going to want to do is grab on, scroll down this palette list here and grab a list view and drag it and kind of just move it around a little bit and kind of see where it can dock. You want to try to line it up to be center of the screen vertically and horizontally, and then let go. So this is our list view. Congratulations, you've added one. If you come over here where it says design and text and switch to text view, we can take a look and see what was actually added in the XML. Notice our content with our layout, width, and height. Those are two required attributes. Let's go ahead and change this list view here to list view song so we can distinguish it a little bit later. So I think that pretty much has us good, I believe, for our songs. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and create another item that's going to be used for what this looks like inside each individual one of these rows. So what I'm going to do is click on Layout. I'm going to right click and I'm going to do New Layout Resource File. And this layout resource file is going to be list view for each song.xml. We're going to leave that as a linear layout, but I can select other layouts if I wish and hit OK. If you don't see anything with particular themes, if you come up here under App Theme and click Color Light on one of them, it'll pop up and give you something to kind of display. What I'm going to do is switch into this linear layout, and what I want to do is basically create kind of a title for this thing to be displayed on, and a kind of when it was released, the album name, and then I want to create an area on the page where I can load some data into it in here a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over here to the GitHub repository for this particular project, into my music list, and I'm going to go down into my music list, source, main, under resource, and look for layout, and look for this list view from each activity. So I'm going to grab this line here, and I'm going to paste that in, and then we'll talk about it. This is each individual line that's within our list view. So if we look at our emulator, I believe we still have our previous project running. So if we look at this My Music list view, what it's going to create is what this right here looks like. So if you look, we have a text view with a linear layout. This text view is this first piece up here at the top. And then we have another linear layout with 2 items that allows these 2 things to line up together. So now this particular item will be used over and over for each of these individual ones. Okay, so we have our list view for each song, and we have our main list item. Now we can close that out, and we can go back into our Java folder and go to our list main activity. So we're going to be working on this on create. So I'm going to come in here and put some space in here. So basically what we're looking to do in here is add the source code that will allow us to bind that list that we just created into that service that we created in the previous example. So what we're going to do is first get a reference to that list view, and we do that by typing ListView, and then we're going to, as we had to cast before, do a ListView and do find view by ID, and do r.id list view song. That will give us access to the list view from that original page, from the layout that we just created. Now that we've done that, I want to get access to the song that's in that service that we created. So I'm going to do list songs, and I'm going to do new my music service, and I'm going to do find all. So this is giving me all of those songs. Remember, if I control click, all of these songs are going to be returned by this find all right here. Okay, so I have my list view, I have my songs. The next thing that I need to create is something called an adapter. So this is not created yet, so I'm going to do song adapter equals new song adapter. Alright, this guy is what's going to be used to bind this to this using these individual details that I did before. So what I need to do is control or option enter, and it says create class song adapter. Yep. So what I'm going to do is extend from another class, because I know that array adapter has most of the features that I need, so I'm going to kind of use that as a blueprint to how to begin. So I extend from array adapter, and I use the generic song that I pass into it. It's telling me there's an error, so I'm going to go ahead and do option click. It says create matching constructor for super. It asks me which one I want to use, and I want to use one that passes a context, the resource ID, and then the list